open the letter.
Okay, I think it's recording.
Now it has started. It's just now that it started now.
Okay, all right. So I'm sorry about that. I believe I should have I started the recording, but because of the delay. All right. So as I was saying, some of the key areas that requires our attention as cybersecurity specialists, it is the website of our organization. Some organizations are big enough, and the reputation of this organization is very important to be protected. For example, we can say like Central Bank of Nigeria, if to say now we are trying to access the website of the central bank, and you find out that the website is not accessible, and it becomes public that the website is no longer accessible, it's been compromised, is going to be something of great concern to the citizen of the nation. So the second part is the responsibility. The businesses, when we say businesses, we are referring to either government or private businesses. Universities are doing business with their students. Government are doing business with their citizens. You are applying for a passport, or you applied for national identification, or you are applying for license. All these are different sort of transactions that in one way or the other your data is collected. So now after collecting your data in all these different points, it is the responsibility of those organizations, to protect your data from misuse and unauthorized access. However, growth of data as well has created great opportunities for cybersecurity specialists. I was telling you earlier that it is now a law in Nigeria that every year employees has to be taken for training in cybersecurity. So you see opportunities around trainings, opportunities for cyber specialists to work with government, opportunities for cybersecurity specialists to work with private sectors has been created by this policy. So if you have the knowledge and the right skill set and the certifications, opportunities definitely are awaiting you. Now domains, business large and small have recognized the power of big data and data analytics, because we are connected, from all ramifications, from networks of computers to network of things. Now data is collected at every point, from our homes, to farms, to offices, to manufacturing industries, to factories and every places. So now we have an enormous quantum of data. Hence, for the organizations that are custodian of the data to make sense of it, then they need to analyze the data and of course ensure that they get the kind of they understand the trend and pattern through which that data is actually collected. Companies like Google, LinkedIn, and Amazon, they provide important services and opportunities for their customers, which I believe we all know. Yeah, in one way or the other, we are using Google, Gmail, or Google Drive, so many things like that. LinkedIn, of course, I believe all of us are LinkedIn. Amazon, some of us buy stuff from Amazon or sell stuff on Amazon as well. So, all the data of client and merchant, that these companies are dealing with, it's actually the responsibility of these companies to protect them. So you see, they have to hire or contract the services, of cybersecurity specialists to protect this data and to ensure that their services are accessible every now and then. Growth in data collection and analytics poses great risk to individuals and modern life if precautions are not taken to protect sensitive data from criminals or others who have intent to harm. So, as this data become enormous and, it's actually collected from everywhere, so that actually poses a lot of risk, to individuals. As such, it now actually becomes very, very important, for organizations to hire cybersecurity specialists. All right. Now, cyber experts now have the technology to track worldwide weather trends, monitor the oceans, and track the movement and behavior of people, animals, and objects in real time. There are advanced technologies that allow us to do that. New technologies such as Geospatial Information System, GIS, and Internet of Everything have emerged. Each depends on collection and analyzing tremendous amount of data. As I said earlier, that before we only have network of computers where computer A and computer B are physically connected using cables to create a local area network, and then to the level whereby so many local area networks are interconnected to form an intranet, to the level whereby an intranet is connected with another intranet is connected with another intranet to actually form what we call a wide area network. Now we are talking about things, wristwatches, refrigerators, sensors in our vehicles, sensors at farms that are actually, stored in, or rather that are basically, getting information from the soil, and of course, giving all data to the cloud so that we can have the data and analyze it. This growing collection of data can help people save energy, improve efficiency, and reduce safety risk. However, it actually poses, the data and individuals to a great risk. That is why it's important, for cybersecurity specialists to understand, that. All right. Now, as we already knew, there are good guys and the bad guys. Those of us that are here mostly, we are actually working towards becoming the good guys. However, it's good to understand the bad guys and what their motives might actually be. So, as you have already knew, cybersecurity criminals are of different types. We actually call them hackers. These are a group of criminals that breaks into computers or networks, to gain, um, to gain access for various reasons. These are hackers. These hackers could be white hat, gray hat, or black hat. White hat, they break into networks or computer systems to discover weaknesses in order to improve the security of these systems. The white hat, they work for companies. Companies, hire people like this to ensure that, they test their systems and to give them reports so that the programmers can actually tighten the security of that particular system and to apply patches and fixes so as to make it more hardened. These are white hat. They are mostly good guys and they are hired to do that, either hired or contracted. Gray hat are somewhere between white and black hat attackers. The gray hat attackers may find a vulnerability and report it to the owners of the system. That is great. That is the good part of it. And if that action coincides with their agenda, if this particular action coincides with their agenda, they can actually report it. Otherwise, they actually get the information for their own personal benefit. Okay, black hat. Black hat are unethical criminals who violated computer and network security for personal gain or for malicious reasons, such as attacking networks. These guys are basically the bad guys that we popularly call hackers. But for us as specialists, we need to know the differences and to know, the classifications. White hat, they are the cybersecurity specialists working for organizations to find, exploit, or vulnerabilities and report to the company for better development of the system. Gray hat, they are people that are in the middle of white, and black. Their way is to find a vulnerability and report to the owners if that actually suits their agenda. Black hat, these are the unethical criminals who actually violate the computer and network security for personal gain or for malicious reasons, such as attacking the networks. criminals.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Please come back to this gray hat. I have a question concerning.
Okay, please.
For the statement of saying the gray hat attacker may find a vulnerability and report it to the owner of the system if that action coincides with the agenda. So I
Yes.
didn't understand the actual words I'm trying to say.
Okay, the gray hat hackers, right? They sometimes behave like white hat, and in some other time they behave like black hat. So if they perform what we call penetration testing on the system, if they find out the vulnerability, they can report it to the owner of the software, the owner of the system on which they perform that, vulnerability scanning or penetration testing. In a case whereby that particular action is part of their motives. So for them, they have two motives, good and bad. So they are in the middle. They are neither white nor black. Hence the reason why they are called gray. They can do good work, and to some extent they can do bad work. This could be disgruntled employees or an employee, an internal threat. An internal threat is somebody that works, for your company, but he's an undercover agent for another company, for example, or for somebody. So that guy could be classified as a gray hat attacker or hacker. So in that case, sometimes they will perform penetration testing and report, to the head of the company in which they are working in. And sometimes they will find out information and sell it out to that other guys that actually sponsored him or her and brought him into that company. I hope, Ibrahim, you understand it.
It's clear now.
All right. So criminals, come in many different forms. Each have their own motives. So we have script kiddies, which I believe you already know who are these. These are children, actually learning how to actually hack. They don't have specialized skills. They basically use an existing tools, to find out how they can launch an attack on internet. These are this actually script kiddies, and unfortunately, because of the quack nature of our programmers today, this kind of persons can end up breaking into a system that millions of naira was given to be built. Vulnerability brokers, these are gray hat hackers who attempt to discover exploit and report them to vendors, sometimes for prizes or reward. So the vulnerability brokers, as this explanation stated, are gray hat hackers that do perform penetration testing in order to exploit or find out vulnerability and report to the developers of that product, so that they can actually get money for their work. Hacktivists are hackers, who rally and protest against different political and social ideas. These people, we call them hacktivists. They have their own motive as well. It could be one of their leaders is being imprisoned by the government, so they might actually protest so that that person must be released before they actually release some of the key government officials they attacked, or some of the sensitive information they are going to leak about the government, or it could be also they are actually rendering a particular government system useless by launching distributed denial of service attack. So all this is actually in relation to hacktivist, and it could be a government hired person between government A and government B, trying to, like these superpowers always fighting on the nuclear energy. So this could be anything. But however, there are grey hat hackers who rally and protest against different political and social ideas. All right, so that is about that. Cyber criminals, these are black hat hackers, right, who are either self-employed or working for large cybercrime organizations. Each year, cyber criminals are responsible for stealing billions of dollars from consumers and businesses. Hence, it is very, very important for us to know about this and to actually keep learning advanced skills in order to become very good asset, for the organizations we are going to be working with. State-sponsored hackers, depending on a person's perspective, these are either white hat or black hat hackers who steal government secrets, gather intelligence, and sabotage networks. These are like another part of hacktivists. They actually they usually target foreign governments, terrorist group, and corporations. Most countries in the world participate to some degree in state-sponsored hacking. So, as I used to give an example, like US and Iran, they have these issues with nuclear energy, so they can always embark on this kind of cyber war crime. All right, so thank you very much. Please let's rejoin. This link is expiring in a minute. I will stop this this recording, and then we'll join after a few seconds. Thank you.